Welcome to Art Ed Radio, the podcast for art teachers. This show is produced by the Art of Education, and I'm your host, Andrew McCormick. In this episode, we're going to go to some places that we seldom go. I'm going to confess to the whole world, shoot, I'll even shout it from the mountaintops, that there are simply things that we as art teachers hate, but yet our students love them. I'm going to bring on my good friend, the ever-curmudgeon-y Tim Bogatz, to help me come up with a top 10 most hated things in the art room. Now, these are things that we as art teachers either begrudgingly tolerate or just outright ban from existence. First, we're going to take a fun look at what some of those specific pet peeves are. Maybe it's bad or unoriginal ideas, junky materials, or maybe even some less than desirable attitudes and behaviors. Secondly, we're going to look at some of the underlying causes of this divide. Is it bad, or maybe it's inevitable, that we have these splits? Is it generational, motivational, contextual? And finally, we'll look at how we handle these love-hate issues. Do we just outright ban these things from our classroom, or do we work with our students with these ideas? Do we just straight up allow them and then go home every night secretly hating ourselves for allowing the glitter to get out? Or maybe we try to find a happy medium. Now, we could turn this podcast episode into a giant grump fest, but we're going to try and avoid this and give you guys some tangible solutions. But I want you to know that we are here for you. It's okay. You can say it. You hate hot glue and feathers. We get it. You stay awake at night dreading the next morning papier-mâché demo. This is a safe place. Now, some of these love-hate divides come down to differences in personal tastes and teaching styles. I've never really been a crafty guy. Sometimes my mom scratches her head that of all her children, I'm the one who grew up to be an art teacher. As a kid, I couldn't color in the lines to save my life. And we still hang this cross-stitched Christmas stocking ornament that I made back in kindergarten to stand testament to all crimes against aesthetics and good taste. It was that bad. I think one of the reasons that this love-hate divide happens, it's not that tough when we really think about it. Students come to us and they have a lack of scaffolding and opportunities to be original. In a nutshell, the things that drive me crazy are student choices that lack originality, thought, and preparation. When student choices are obvious and trite, that's why students love them. They're quick and easy. We live in this culture that puts a premium on quick and easy. Forget being tough or challenging or time intensive. Ugh, right? There's this great article on the AOE website by Ian Sands that talks about the 5 ways that you can get creative and motivate students, and dare I say, get them to make better choices and better work. Getting them to come up with fewer trite, obvious, loathsome ideas. You get your kids moving, get them working on collaborative projects. You can give them more agency and choice. And I'm a big fan of choice-based education. And I know Ian and Melissa Perty are big fans of tab and choice as well. But this one is tricky because with more choices could come the opportunity for more bad choices. And this is where I believe a quality teacher and quality instruction steps in and says, here's why this idea may not be so great. Now, you might love it, and I kind of hate it, but let's talk about it and come up with a compromise that will make the best artwork and something that we can both kind of live with. So if you're battling the great love-hate divide right now in your classroom, I think you'll really enjoy AOE's Design Your Art Curriculum course. You'll learn the best ways to circumvent those hated student interests like zentangle elephants and faux air quote tribal dream catchers. So if you need some grad credits or PD hours, make sure you check out this great curriculum class. As with all the AOE classes, you'll have a chance to get reflective with your practice and create a number of new tools to take your teaching to the next level. Designing Your Art Curriculum is a 3-credit class, and it starts at the beginning of every month. Learn more by going to theartofed.com and clicking on the Courses tab. Let's bring on Tim to get his take on his most hated art projects. All right, Tim, so let's get down to business.
All right.
So, hey, right off the bat, you've got some explaining to do. You are a stalwart hater of all things glitter.
True.
And subsequently, may I say all things fun, because I'm a fan of glitter. Now, I know that there's some things on this list of top 10 hated things that we are going to disagree upon, vehemently so. So right off the bat, defend yourself. Why do you hate glitter so much, sir?
Oh, man, how much time do you have? Now, if I had to sum up my hate for glitter, I think the biggest thing is the mess. Like, I will never get over it. Like, I quit teaching elementary art 12 years ago, and I'm sure I'm still finding glitter from back then. Like, it's ridiculous.
I thought you were gonna say you quit teaching because of the glitter. It drove you from teaching elementary.
That was a big part of it, if we're gonna be honest. No, and I hate the look of it. Like, and I suppose it goes back to how you always make fun of me being a curmudgeon, but like sparkly things just don't do it for me. I just don't enjoy them. So
we've got to get you to unleash like your fabulous side one of these days.
I think it's part aesthetics and part cleanliness, and I can't get over it.
Yeah, well, so listen, I can kind of one up you here, and I think we're going to kind of brinksmanship here, kind of I'll say one and you say one.
Okay.
Because I see your glitter, and I actually like glitter, and I think it can be used actually well, and I think it's kind of fun. For me, melted crayons, anything.
Yes.
Not a fan.
Yes.
I've tried to work with students when they say, "Can we do melted crayon?"
Yeah.
I've tried to make some projects work and that are cool that I can actually stomach, but it looks hack. It looks crafty.
Yeah.
Not a fan. I'm not a fan of the way it looks.
Yeah, it's so cliche. It's so like, it's cute. It's fine, but it's not the art that I want coming out of my art room, to be honest. Like, how many times do I need to see the couple under the umbrella with melted crayons all around them, but that umbrella stops them, and
they're saved. They're saved from the melted acid rain that's falling on
it is the worst. So
everything on Pinterest, they look amazing, and then like kids see it and they try to do it, and it's like, oh, those colors, those are putrid. It's vomit wax.
Why did you put the red right next to the green? That's not how this works.
Not good.
Yeah, that's bad. All right. So if glitter and melted crayons are number 1 and 2 on the list, number 3, I'm going to put in anime. And are we going to fight about this one?
I didn't know you were going with such a contentious one right off the bat, but
no, I know a lot of teachers really like anime, but again, that goes back to what we talked about way back in our first episode with originality. Like, I have yet to see an anime drawing that a kid brings in that's creative and original. It's just all so copied, and I can't find any originality in there, and so I just immediately sort of stay away from that.
Oh, see, okay, I can actually now, you won me over. You win the day, because I actually think what you're talking about then is execution, and not necessarily like the specific discipline that is like, that style of illustration.
Right.
I've had some kids bring in anime that's been really super just hack. Copied everything.
Yes.
Then when you see a kid who really understands that stuff and brings in their own original, it's pretty cool. So we might have to call this one a draw and just say that you've seen nothing but poor execution of bad anime. So
fair enough.
Okay. So this is the one. I don't know why I get this one all the time. A kid who doesn't think about what they want to do for the background of a piece. Ooh, I know. Splatter painting.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Man. I hate it because every kid that I work with, every student I work with is convinced that they know, I got this. I know how to do splatter painting. And then I've got red paint on my drawers and on the ceiling and on the floor. And it's like, you don't understand. Like, you don't have to you're not throwing a javelin. You're just barely flicking the paint a little bit. And it's not the most original, thoughtful, like planned out thing. No. It's like a default. I don't know what to do. Let's splatter some stuff.
Yeah, I think it is like literally the default idea for teenagers. Like, what? Oh, I forgot about the background. Yeah, let's splatter it. And it is like everyone falls back on that. And again, like it's rare to see one that looks good. So
right, that's true. That's really true. Yeah.
All right. And so speaking of teenagers, I'm going to bring in number 5 here. I get really, really tired of teenage angst. Just, the kids bringing all of those dark, deep emotions into class and just like, I need to do this artwork of me sitting alone under the tree and everything's going to be black. And, just like they're pretending to be depressed because they think it's cool. And I struggle with that. Like it's a tough one for me.
It's funny. I feel like there was a time period where that was really prevalent. The sort of all black everything and like white, goth kind of look. I guess I don't get as much of that anymore, but I definitely do get the like, don't look at me, look at me. Don't look at me. Look at me.
Yes.
The like, I don't want to draw attention to myself, but I want everyone to know how like mysterious and dark and like, brooding I am. It's
and there's like this romanticism that comes with, those sorts of emotions. And like, I will never understand that.
Yeah. I think some of that has got to be sort of generational and contextual because it's like, I've had to have this talk with my students and say, okay, when you are younger, every bad day that you've ever had seems horrible because you just haven't had very many of them. Like I've had more bad, crappy days than you've had days in general. So like I can contextualize things better. So I think, give them time. They grow out of that.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. One of the things this kind of relates to teenagers that I really don't like, and again, I think all these issues have like bigger reasons why they kind of get under our skin and drive us crazy, especially middle school kid. You're talking 7th grade, 8th grade. Why on earth are you still drawing a sun in the corner of your paper? and the double whammy is a sun in the corner with a smiley face.
Yes.
You can just get out of my class right now because I am not putting up with that. Have you ever seen a sun in the corner and with a smiley face? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And I think what really drives me crazy about that is it's like, it's like this not thinking, not thoughtful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's default to how I drew when I was in 3rd grade or 2nd grade.
Yeah.
And even in 2nd grade, that wasn't cool with me. But it's like, you're better and older and wiser than that. Why are you defaulting to like this, like just hack sort of like convention that's not even real? I don't get it.
Yeah, and it's frustrating because they know better, but they just choose not to do it. And I guess that's a hallmark of middle school probably, but yeah, it gets frustrating really quick when you see just things that they should have gotten over a long time ago, especially when you've seen them and they can do better.
That's even worse. It's like you just made some amazing artwork, and now that you have like a couple days, and maybe it's because it's unstructured, you revert back to like 3rd grade lollipop trees and V-shaped birds. Get out of here.
Yeah.
Just get out of here.
All right. So I'm going to continue on with that theme. All right. So I'm bringing number 7 here. Things that I hate showing up in artworks like corner suns. The 3 big ones for me. I hate close-ups of eyeballs. I hate roses and I hate hearts. Like they are. Man. And yeah, I guess those fit in with the glitter and me just being the curmudgeon. But man, I get so tired of it. I'm like every kid like, oh, I want to do a close up of an eyeball. And how many like literally thousands of times have I seen sketches from kids like needing to do that. And I don't know the fascination with it, but for whatever reason, every single kid wants to do that drawing of just an eye. So I don't know. Do you get that with your middle schoolers?
I do. And again, it's like, I think I blame Pinterest, I blame Instagram, and it's, or, even like YouTube, like videos of like, watch this amazing watercolor artist in 5 minutes, make this eyeball. And everyone's just like, I want to do that. And
Yeah.
I mean, to some degree, like, I like that stuff, as in like, wow, they're masterful, like, good job. But I also think it becomes a formula for them. Like, so how many times has this person drawn this exact same eyeball to this effect? And that's the one thing I think oftentimes students don't see or think about is like, you didn't see all the other work that went into play to get this person that they could make this thing seem so effortless.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that kind of goes in with your teenage angst. It's like, what better way to symbolize like the struggles than a close up of the windows to my soul with a heart reflecting through my eyes. And it's just like,
yeah. See, a little thick. Been there, done that. I'm over it. So
I'm gonna go out on a limb here, Tim, and say that you don't have any tattoos of like roses and hearts or anything.
I don't have any tattoos, period. And if I did, they would be way cooler than that.
A tattoo on your arm that says "glitter for life."
Yeah, I need that.
You need that. Okay, so let's go number 8. This is going to be kind of a switch up a little bit.
Okay.
And I know I'm probably going to get some hate mail on this one, but the crafty stuff, the stuff that is like, follow this formula, steps 1 through 6, and you will have the most amazing pop tab bracelet, or the crocheted iPhone cozy. And it's like, my beef with that is like, it's not that I don't like iPhone cozies. I love iPhone cozies. Okay, whatever. But it's like, as an art curriculum, you would like to think that there's more problem solving, creativity, critical thought than just steps 1 through 6. You're a good little boy or girl and you made this thing. No, I think that there is kind of a place for that every once in a while. But I think if your program has too much of that, you're kind of like taking the legs out from under you a little bit. You're becoming pom-poms and sequins and popsicle sticks. I don't think they're more than that,
No, I think that's what it comes down to. Like, I'm impressed that you made your own dream catcher, but like we have some critical thinking skills that we need to take care of too. So it needs to go beyond that. All right, so I'm going to bring in number 9 on the list. And I probably need to explain myself a little bit with this one, but I really dislike zentangles. Now, not that visually they're great. Like, I love zentangles, but when did they go from like being really cool doodles or really nice sketches into this whole like commercialized with lesson plans, becoming certified, and people making money off of doodles? Like, we gave them a fancy name and now we're making money. And kudos to whoever came up with that idea and decided to market that. But man, we've been doing it for centuries, so I have no idea why it needs a special name and a special designation. And
I wonder if there wasn't like a perfect storm. Like, again, this is, I think, the 3rd time I'm throwing Pinterest under the bus. And like, I have a Pinterest account and I like it and I use it, but maybe not. But I feel like zentangles and Pinterest like got big at the same time, and it was just like a match made in mediocre heaven. I'm just like, everyone make a zentangle elephant. And we were kind of talking off mic. It's not that we don't like a good zentangle elephant, but it's that I've seen it done 100 times. So it's like when students default to that, it's that lack of originality. So, okay, my last one, and I think this is number 10. And I think I had some trauma growing up in my early life that made me not like this. But like, I do not like tie-dye. I will not do it.
Hey, do not tell Abby Shook-Eye.
Oh, she'll hunt me down because she's like, she's got a tie-dye posse, man. They will come and get me. But I don't like it. And, you could give me $100 and say, I want you to teach a tie-dye lesson. I'm just like, nope, I'm not doing it. Not the rubber gloves and the uric acid or whatever the heck you put in there to make the colors bright and the rubber bands. Go do it. I'm sorry. Go do it at summer camp because this art teacher ain't doing it. I'm not doing it. Do it at home.
Nice.
Do it at home.
Nice.
But I think I had some traumatic experiences growing up. So
Fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
So, hey, we've had some fun kind of romping through the muck of like top 10 things that we don't like. And there's some other things that maybe we left off. And I'm sure that our listeners have some other things they'd add. And we're embellishing a little bit, to kind of have some fun with this. But let's get at maybe a bigger question here. Why do you think, Tim, this love-hate divide happens? Because we didn't just say these are the 10 things that we hate. These are the 10 things that we hate that we know our students love. So is this divide inevitable? Is it generational? Is it natural? Why do you think this happens?
Oh, I think it comes with experience more than anything. Like, kids will see that eye for the first time, or, that pop tab bracelet, and they're like, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. And maybe it is because they've never seen it before, but we've been teaching art for a decade plus now, each of us. And, we've seen it hundreds of times. And so what they find fascinating just seems so trite and so cliche just because we've seen it so much. And so I think it is just kind of an age and generational thing. And they haven't been exposed to bigger and better things. And so that's what fills in for them as for what they find truly fascinating.
Right. And, back on our very first episode about originality, like I brought up the student who wanted to do the melted crayon boy and girl under the umbrella.
Yes.
And I talked her down from that ledge and I said, you're not going to do that. And here's why. And here's in all seriousness, what I think is important that we do as art teachers. You don't just say, nope, teacher hates glitter, or nope, teacher hates tie-dye. You say, okay, the reason why I don't want you to do this melted crayon zentangle close-up of a heart with glitter around it is because it is obvious and it is trite. And I have seen this done 1,000 different times, and 98% of those 1,000 times, it was probably done even better than what you're going to do. So I think it goes back to your mantra that I really like and I've been adopting and using, which is, make it your own. Like, be more original. I think that's what the problem with all these things is. They're not original. They're maybe not open-ended. They're kind of limiting a little bit and trite. So.
Yeah. And, if we're melting crayons and they insist on melting crayons, take it beyond the stupid umbrella. Figure out how you can do something else with that to add color to a painting, to add texture to something. Let them figure out how to bring it in somewhere in their artwork that doesn't just copy that example that we've seen 1,000 times. Right.
And that was kind of my last question and my last point that I was going to throw to you is you can't just be a jerk and say no to everything. You've got to have some strategies for working with your students when they want to use these things that they love. So what would you suggest are the strategies? I mean, and they could range from you let them do it and then you secretly hate yourself at the end of the day. I can't believe I let them use glitter, or outright banning. Or is there a little trickery and rope-a-dope where they think they're getting their way, but you're actually kind of getting your way too?
Yeah, I'm going to go with option C there because I look at those as kind of a teachable moment. And, I take that opportunity to explain to the kids, hey, I sort of don't like this, and here's why. And I can explain to them why it looks trite, why it looks cliche. And then from there, we can brainstorm together. We can look at other options that maybe let them bring in some of those ideas or some of those techniques, but also pushes them to try something new, to expand things a little bit further. And so you take that original idea, but like you said, let them make it their own. Ask them to take some ownership and do something new with it. And then I think you're really taking advantage of that learning opportunity.
Yeah, I love that answer, man. Yeah, it's a conversation. It's a relationship. It's a kind of bartering back and forth about what's going to be good and still tying into what they love and their interests, and not just always saying no, but pushing them to go above and beyond. So, I mean, you can't just ban this stuff. I mean, Tim, I'm sorry, dude. You're going to have to order some glitter every once in a while from the Blick calendar. You're just going to, or the catalog. You're going to have to do it.
Hey, just real quick, and we can probably end on this. I'm really proud of the fact that I have not had any glitter in my classroom in the 12 years that I've been teaching high school. And as long as I can keep that going, I will be a happy art teacher.
I'm mailing you some as we speak. I'm going to infect your room with glitter very soon. All right, man. Thanks for coming on. This was fun.
Yeah, it was. Thank you.
So we talked specific pet peeves, and I think Tim pretty much agrees with me that the origins of this love-hate split is often generational, contextual, and really it's kind of bound to happen. And that's when it's our job to step in and help students make better aesthetic and stylistic choices by giving them honest feedback that something is just too played out and trite. While they might love it, we can force students to think more deeply and originally. We can't simply ban all the things that we don't like. That's the art teacher as dictator. So the idea is to work with students to keep their interests and ideas alive while also stretching them past their most basic desire to just go out and recreate something that they've already seen on Pinterest. You know, that's really the ultimate Jedi mind trick, right? To wean the students off those things that they think they love while also pushing them a little bit further. Sure, you can make Disney fan art, but what if you made artwork that was critical of Disney? Or smashed it up with something else a little bit and got into misappropriation? Sure, you can paint a ceiling tile, but why would you just copy something? Why don't you make a ceiling tile that's more original? Sure, you can use glitter, but why are we putting glitter on a drawing? Why not make a big sculptural glitter explosion? And if you can do that little rope-a-dope and get your students to think that they're getting away with the things that they love, while also convincing them to go further, then you might just grow that little curmudgeon-y heart a little bit bigger, and maybe you'll even be able to allow a little glitter into your life. Tim, I'm talking to you right now. Art Ed Radio is developed, produced, and supported by the Art of Education, with audio engineering by Michael Crocker. If you want to support the show and enjoy what we're doing, please subscribe on iTunes, leave some comments, write a review, and definitely give us a rating. That's how we get a little publicity on iTunes. We definitely like those 5-star reviews. New episodes of Art Ed Radio will be released every Tuesday, and additional content can be found under the podcast tab at artofed.com. Join us next week where I'll be talking with my good pal, Sarah Doherty, on how to make data in the art room sexy. Thanks for listening.